Hey guys, Lord Naren White, the Holy Ghost, the one true God here. Back with you with the next video in my series reading The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Without further ado, returning to The Invisible Man as read by Lord Naren White. I went there to work. I had one hope. It was a half idea. I have it still. It is a full-blown idea now, a way of getting back, of restoring what I have done, when I choose. What I have done, all I mean to do invisibly, when. And that is what I chiefly want to talk to you about now. You went straight to Ipping. Yes, I had simply to get my 3 volumes of memoranda, and my checkbook, and my luggage and underclothing, order a quantity of chemicals to work out this idea of mine. I will show you the calculations as soon as I get my books. And then I started. Jove! I remember the snowstorm now, and the accursed bother it was to keep the snow from damping my pasteboard nose. At the end, said Kemp, the day before yesterday, when they found you out, to judge by the papers, I did, rather. Did I kill that fool of a constable? No, said Kemp. He's expected to recover. That's his luck, then. I clean lost my temper, the fools. Why couldn't they leave me alone, and that grocer lout? There are no deaths expected, said Kemp. I don't know that about that tramp of mine, said the Invisible Man with an unpleasant laugh. By heaven, Kemp, you don't know what rage is. To have worked for years, to have planned and plotted, and then get some fumbling, purblind idiot messing across your course. Every conceivable sort of silly creature that has ever been created has sent cross to me. If I have much more of it, I shall go wild. I shall start mowing 'em. As it is, they've made things 1,000 times more difficult. No doubt it's exasperating, said Kemp dryly. Chapter 24. The Plan That Failed. But now, said Kemp, with a side glance out of the window, what are we to do? He moved nearer his guest, as he spoke in such a manner as to prevent the possibility of a sudden glimpse of the 3 men who were advancing up the hill road. With an intolerable slowness, as it seemed to Kemp. What were you planning to do when you were heading for Port Burdock? Had you any plan? I was going to clear out of the country, but I've altered that plan since seeing you. I thought it would be wise, now the weather is hot, and invisibility possible, to make for the south, especially as my secret was known, and everyone would be on the lookout for a masked and muffled man. You have a line of steamers from here to France. My idea was to get aboard one and run the risks of the passage. Thence I could go by train into Spain, or else get to Algiers. It would not be difficult. There a man might always be invisible, and yet live and do things. I was using that tramp as a money box and luggage carrier until I decided how to get my books, and things sent over to meet me. That's clear. And then the filthy brute must needs try and rob me. He has hidden my books. Kemp? Hidden my books! If I can lay my hands on him. Best plan to get the books out of him first. But where is he? Do you know? He's in the town police station, locked up, by his own request, in the strongest cell in the place. Cur, said the Invisible Man. But that hangs up your plans a little. We must get those books. Those books are vital. Certainly, said Kemp, a little nervously, wondering if he heard footsteps outside. Certainly we must get those books, but that won't be difficult. If he doesn't know they're for you. No, said the Invisible Man, and thought. Kemp tried to think of something to keep the talk going. But the invisible man resumed of his own accord. Blundering into your house, Kemp, he said, changes all my plans, for you are a man that can understand. In spite of all that has happened, in spite of this publicity, of the loss of my books, of what I have suffered, there still remain great possibilities, huge possibilities. You have told no one I am here? He asked abruptly. Kemp hesitated. That was implied, he said. No one, insisted Griffin. Not a soul. Ah, now. The invisible man stood up and, sticking his arms akimbo, began to pace the study. I made a mistake, Kemp. A huge mistake in carrying this thing through alone. I have wasted strength, time, opportunities. Alone. It is wonderful how little a man can do alone. To rob a little, to hurt a little, and there is the end. What I want, Kemp, is a goalkeeper, a helper, and a hiding place, and an arrangement whereby I can sleep and eat and rest in peace and unsuspected. I must have a confederate. With a confederate, with food and rest, 1,000 things are possible. Hitherto I have gone on vague lines. We have to consider all that invisibility means, all that it does not mean. It means little advantage for eavesdropping and so forth. One makes sounds. It's of little help, a little help, perhaps, in housebreaking and so forth. Once you've caught me, you could easily imprison me. But on the other hand, I am hard to catch. This invisibility, in fact, is only good in 2 cases. It's useful in getting away. It's useful in approaching. It's particularly useful, therefore, in killing. I can walk round a man, whatever weapon he has, choose my point, strike as I like, dodge as I like, escape as I like. Kemp's hand went to his mustache. Was that a movement downstairs? And it's killing we must do, Kemp. It is killing we must do, repeated Kemp. I'm listening to your plan, Griffin, but I'm not agreeing. Mind, why killing? Not wanton killing, but a judicious slaying. The point is, they know there is an invisible man, as well as know there is an invisible man. As well as we know, And that invisible man, Kemp, must now establish a reign of terror. Yes, no doubt it's startling, but I mean it. A reign of terror. He must take some town like your Burdock and terrify and dominate it. He must issue his orders. He can do that in 1,000 ways. Scraps of paper thrust under doors would suffice. And all who disobey his orders he must kill, and kill all who would defend them. Said Kemp, no longer listening to Griffin, but to the sound of his front door opening and closing. It seems to me, Griffin, he said, to cover his wandering attention, that your confederate would be in a difficult position. No one would know he was a confederate, said the invisible man eagerly, and then suddenly, hush! What's that downstairs? Nothing, said Kemp, and suddenly began to speak loud and fast. I don't agree to this, Griffin, he said. Understand me, I don't agree to this. Why dream of playing a game against the race? How can you hope to gain happiness? Don't be a lone wolf. Publish your results. Take the world, take the nation at least, into your confidence. Think what you might do with 1,000,000 helpers. The invisible man interrupted, arm extended. There are footsteps coming upstairs, he said in a low voice. Nonsense, said Kemp. Let me see, said the invisible man, and advanced, arm extended, to the door. And then things happened very swiftly. Kemp hesitated for a second and then moved to intercept him. The invisible man started and stood still. "Traitor!" cried the voice. And suddenly the dressing gown opened, and sitting down, the unseen began to disrobe. Kemp made 3 swift steps to the door, and forthwith the invisible man, his legs vanished, sprang to his feet with a shout. Kemp flung the door open. We'll go ahead and stop there for this week. As usual, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.